If you ever feel like you're being demeaned, disrespected, judged, or condemned by other people, they look down on you with disdain or whatever have you, one of the best things that you can really ever do is realize that reacting negatively is you agreeing with their negative assessment about you. It's you condemning yourself, essentially, because nobody can really determine who you are except for you. It's really, really quite simple. And in the moment, it can feel very powerfully strong as other people look down on you or disrespect you or treat you like something meaningless or something unworthy or something to be waved away or whatever have you, whatever situation you might find yourself in. It feels crazy strong, the disrespect or the negativity or the anger or the sadness or whatever have you. But those emotions are in fact just indicative of the fact that you are deciding to cut yourself off from the depiction of who you really are. You're agreeing with them that you're unworthy. Because it's really simple. If some random person comes up and tells you something that has nothing to do with you, you're not really going to react. You're not going to say, oh, why is this person so mad at me? Because they're mad that I'm wearing a giant rainbow afro or something. Like, no, you're not wearing that. So them being mad at you for something that you're literally not doing, it doesn't make any sense to get mad at that. So when you're getting mad at something that is any form of seeming disrespect or them treating you as some lesser individual, it's because you are agreeing with that on some fundamental level. And honestly, this keeps you small if you sit there and you react negatively, because then you get stuck in this cycle of retaliation, whether inwardly or outwardly, and you feel defensive, you feel anxious, you feel angry, you feel sad, you feel rejected, and then you just kind of double down on this identity of not your true self, which is not someone who's happy, not someone who's content, not someone who's confident and powerful in who they are. So it really gets you nowhere fast. There's no point to it. Because the thing is people are always acting from where they are at. So if they're judging you, if they're putting you down, if they're treating you like something unimportant that doesn't deserve some form of respect or communication that you deserve, that's on them. That's a projection of how they feel about themselves, whether they know it or not, how they feel about their world around them, how they act. And that has nothing to do with you. How they act in that way is just a reflection of themselves. It has nothing to do with you. So true power is really sitting there and just being like, whatever. Reacting with neutrality. Just completely forgetting about it. Just be like, oh, must have been a him problem. It has nothing to do with me. And not only is it a projection of themselves, but it's also a reflection of yourself. Because if you're reacting and if it's happening, you're essentially manifesting that from old beliefs that you used to run within you. Old belief systems. Those are rising up and it's being reflected back to you from these other people. Because if you're experiencing it, there's a bit of a frequency there that's within you because you're the creator of your reality. Everything that's around you is essentially a match to your frequency. So if you're seeing it, it's an opportunity to let go of it and to look at it for what it is. But getting negatively reactive towards it is simply just doubling down on reinforcing that old belief of, I'm unworthy, I'm to be disrespected, I am someone that people just toss aside, or they don't give me the time of day, they don't bother to communicate with me like an adult, whatever have you. Whatever's going on. And now this came to me because I had my own moment personally where I was at work and I'm at the runners, the expo station of the restaurant, grabbing the food, there's the ticket machine, and it's kind of on the side of the cook's side, in the kitchen, but it's still reachable from the table. Like, you can easily grab the tickets. And so it splits into two, like a yellow and a white ticket. The white ones are for the kitchen and the yellow ones are for us. So I would be grabbing the tickets, and for whatever reason, out of nowhere, even though I've been doing this for a while, one of the people back there, who's like, I guess he's like some, now he's like got some sort of a management kind of position, sort of. He's like moving his way into that. He's all like, I grab it and he's like, "Oh, we can hand those to you," because typically that's kind of like what they do. But sometimes I like to just grab it, just because like that's part of my job, is to manage the flow of tickets, to understand how the plates are coming out, and to make that flow happen so I can take the plates to the customers. And so instead of just waiting for them to hand me the ticket, I like to be aware of everything going on. So I'll grab it, right? And then I didn't think much of what he said. He's like, "Oh, we'll just hand it to you." It's very lighthearted. And then I do it again, and he's like, he said something else along the lines of like, "We can handle that," or "We got this," or whatever. Basically something that's not an explicit communication, and it's not a "don't do that" or anything like that. It's not a. It's just like it's a casual suggestion, if anything. So a third time, a little bit later, happens, because I do feel a bit of tension inside myself of like, oh, he's trying to like get me to do something. So obviously I'm understanding that there's something going on there with that. But like I said, it's not an explicit communication. But the third time I do it, he sit there and he's like, "I'm not going to tell you again. Don't be grabbing that." And it's just like so dismissive. And so I ask him, I'm like, "What is the difference? What difference does it make?" Because I'm not touching his tickets. It literally makes no difference whatsoever. And he blatantly ignores me when I ask him the question, of course. So what do? I get really, like, honestly, genuinely angry inside. I feel dismissed. I feel disrespected. I feel like I'm like treated like a child or something. Because not only is he telling me, "I'm not going to tell you to again," like I'm his kid or something, but he also completely ignores me as I ask him, what difference does it make? What does it matter? He doesn't want to communicate with me like an adult. And I can't control that. There's nothing I can do about that if he wants to be like that. That's what I'm talking about earlier. If people want to be negative towards you and dismiss you and demean and disrespect you, that's just how they are. You can't control them. But what you can control is how you react. And I'll admit, I got pretty angry there for a little while, and then I got real negative, and then it radiated outwardly in my aura about just being pissy and negative. And that's not what I want to be. It's not what I want to be. I know it's not what you want to be, because it just doesn't feel good. Even though this society conditions you to be retaliatory and to stand your ground and, retaliate and just show them that you're not weak or whatever the hell. Something like that, like, how society is. But to sit there and react, and it is a subtle agreement. It's like you're saying, "Yes, I am allowing you to disrespect me." When in reality, the real action is to just completely ignore it. It's completely ignore it. Because, like I said earlier, if someone says something random to you, like, "I don't like that baseball cap that you're wearing," when you're not wearing a baseball cap, are you going to react? No, you're not going to react. But if someone's like that and that happens and you get reactive and you get negative, something that actually does hit home for you, that's something you're choosing to believe in. So it's like, in that moment for me, I was choosing to believe that I was disrespected. And it's like, who cares? Why would I sit there and let some random other person determine my worth, essentially? Especially when they're being like that. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's just a form of, I guess, social connection that as humans we seek. We seek the approval of others. We seek to be fit in, to be part of the group. And then it's like when suddenly we're like tossed to the side or disrespected, it's like that reactive, defensive energy. But that's the thing is, you don't got to do that. I mean, I'll even go like one step further. What if you had like a friend and they said something about you that was negative or whatever have you? Maybe they were joking, maybe they weren't. But maybe it was some sort of assessment of your character that deep down wounds you and triggers you, something that you don't want to look at. And it's like you have two options. You could get reactive and be like defensive, argumentative. You could start a fight. You could like be like no and be like, oh, like, ugh, get that away from me, kind of energy. Or you could just shrug it off and laugh it off. You could just be like, ha, right, whatever, doesn't apply to me, doesn't mean anything. See, that second option is the move of power. Because when you react, you're saying it applies to you. If you're not reacting like it doesn't apply to you, that's when you claim your power. If they say, oh, you're socially awkward or whatever have you, and then you react, you're just agreeing with that at a subconscious basal level. If you don't and you let it go, you probably, not only do you earn that confidence for yourself, but not reacting also earns that confidence with the other people around you. Because then if you're reacting, you're just basically confirming what they say, but not reacting and moving on. It just shows a level of grounded centeredness that is like, okay, wow, he's actually something else. So letting other people determine your worth, like I said earlier, it really prevents you from being your real self. It's just an opportunity, is what it is. The disrespect, the condemnation, whatever have you, people labeling you, people dismissing you. It's an opportunity to let go of that. Because nobody can determine your worth. Nobody can make you feel anything, any emotion other than you. You are the one deciding to feel anything. And that's simply it. So it's like, why would you decide to feel like you're not good enough? Why would you decide to feel negativity? Like, the initial reaction is there to tell you, oh, this person is being negative, but going beyond just a few seconds takes you into that territory. Takes you into the territory of agreeing about your unworthiness, letting other people determine your worthiness. And it's not worth it. I'll tell you what, I'm not perfect at it, but if there's anything I've learned, it's not worth it. It's just funny because it's like when you really sit and think about it, why would you let anyone decide who you are? Just be who you are, which is someone who's confident, secure, grounded, happy, joyful. And don't let other people knock you off of that center. Because it's just so simple. Like, to do that is simply handing your power away. To react, to get negative, defensive, or retaliatory, to fight back, to argue continuously. It's like you took your power, your confidence, your centeredness, and you just threw it into the river. You threw it into the wind. You tossed it aside. You're just like, nah, I don't have any confidence. I don't have any centeredness. Not for me. I'm not a secure person. I'm insecure. That's what it is. It's just indicative of insecurity. But that's okay, because it's all a lesson. It's all an opportunity to grow. And that's pretty much all I got for you. So as always, thank you so much for watching.